Accounting Lesson 22. Topic: Manufacturing. Introduction to Manufacturing. Turn to Lesson 22 in the Learner's Workbook. This lesson includes a pair activity and a group activity with formative assessment and summative assessment. Integration. The financial world. Prior learning. In grade 10, you investigated manufacturing. Lesson overview. In this lesson, you will investigate manufacturing accounts, manufacturing a paper chain.
Hi, I'm Ashraf, and today we're starting a brand new section, namely manufacturing accounts.
Hi, I'm Yurika, and we're going to look at a very interesting section today, and it's very practical.
Okay, we start off by asking you to do something for us. We're going to manufacture a paper chain.
When manufacturing this paper chain, our aim is going to be to see how many links we can make in the shortest time.
And we're going to limit your time, and we're going to give you 5 minutes in which to complete this activity. Now, let's first tell you what you're going to be using, all right?
You will have to go and find the following resources. You need 2 double sheets of newspaper, a ruler and a pair of scissors, a pencil, sellotape and some glue, Brit.
All right, and then what we're going to do, now these are your instructions, so please follow them carefully. Use the ruler and pencil to draw rectangles on the pieces of paper. Each rectangle must be 10 centimeters by 2 centimeters.
Now we use the pair of scissors and we're going to cut them along the lines into separate strips. We're going to fold the strips into loops and then take the tape and end them together to make a circle.
All right, so what are we doing? We are actually taking the second loop now, putting it in, and we are making a chain. All right, what we're doing is we are making a chain.
Now we need to continue to make the loops until the time has ended. Now remember what we said, we're trying to make as many loops as possible in the shortest time.
All right, now we ask you certain very pertinent questions. Let's start with the first one. What resources we use in producing the paper chain?
When we produce the paper chain here, you have to go back to the resources. Remember, we asked you to get some newspaper. You had to get a ruler, a pair of scissors, pencil, sellotape to put all these things together. Remember, our aim was at the end to make a complete paper chain.
Labor was also used in producing the paper chain. Because the laborers were directly involved, that's you, in producing the paper chain, their wages will be classified as a direct labor cost. I repeat, the labor that went into the manufacturing of the paper chain is what we will be classified as direct labor cost.
Now, over and above that, you must remember there were also other people and other articles involved. Which of those sources mentioned in part of the paper chain? Now, firstly, we had a look at the paper strip and the sellotape. The material that we can physically identify with a specific product, that's called direct material. So basically, the material that we're using directly involved in the manufacturing of a specific article, that's called our direct material. Although the sellotape and the print was part of the final product, those costs are likely to be significant and it will therefore rather be classified as indirect materials. It doesn't mean that this final product can actually go without the sellotape and the glue, because without the sellotape and the glue, there's no ways that we can actually put these links together.
Erika, I think what you've mentioned is very, very important for a learner to now be able to distinguish between the direct materials that were utilized in our paper chain, and that was the paper itself, and the indirect material was the sellotape or the print or the glue that was used. Now remember, draw a distinction between those two costs. One was direct materials and the other was your indirect material cost.
We're now also going to specify and have a look at what about the cleaning afterwards. After we've made these paper chains, you must remember who's going to clean. Now, will the cleaning material used to clean the surface after the production be part of the paper chain of the product? No. Why not, Ashraf?
Because although these materials are not part of the product, the cost must be recovered. I repeat, these cleaning materials that you use, the handy, whatever else you use to clean up your work surface, those cannot be directly be part of the product, but these costs need to be recovered. And how? It cannot be attributed to a specific product because they are used for the benefit of all the products that were manufactured. And this we will then call our indirect material costs. I repeat, these are what we call our indirect material costs.
Just to familiarize you now with the concepts that we've used so far, we've spoken about direct material costs, the materials directly involved in the manufacturing of a specific product. And now the second one that we've introduced you, the indirect material cost. They're not directly involved, but we definitely still do need them to clean up after we've manufactured the final product.
Right, now another pertinent question. Will the wages of the cleaner be part of the production cost of the paper chain?
Also, it's a matter of it won't be. But once again, to get to that final product, we need a certain process and we need someone to clean afterwards. It's the same as before we can put the final chains together, we needed the Prit and the glue. So now we're getting to the indirect labor. So although the cleaner was not directly involved in the production of the paper chain, the cost of the wages must be recovered, and this is known as indirect labor cost.
Now you ask yourself the question, what equipment was used in producing the paper chain? We used a ruler, a pair of scissors, and a pencil.
How can the cost of this equipment be taken into account in the production cost of the paper chain? We now refer you to items such as depreciation. Is that right, Ashraf?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You will recall that a little while ago we did a whole section on asset disposal. And what was depreciation all about again? It's all about the value of that particular vehicle or that particular asset that decreases. And why did that happen?
Okay, because remember, you have used the scissors, you have used your equipment, and what's going to happen to the value of your equipment? The value of your equipment will decrease. And what do we call that expense? It is termed depreciation. If you recall from our previous lessons, as Erika mentioned, we spoke about an imputed cost. That means a cost that did not affect the transfer of money, but the value of my asset decreased. And this expense now will be termed, in terms of manufacturing, we will call it a factory overhead cost.
So very important to just remember that depreciation is one of our manufacturing overhead cost accounts.